You know the problem with this whole space, because I kind of accidentally got thrown into this whole red pill girl pickup space, and I don't really think I'm there so much. I really try and focus on masculine excellence, because a lot of the dudes in that space are trying to compensate massively. Like, there's only so much game you can learn if you're clearly a fucking dork, right?
Yeah, right.
When a nerd comes to me and goes, I'm a total nerd, I want to learn game. I'm like, bro, you need to learn more than game. Because you look like a bitch. My girlfriend will beat the fuck out of you.
How do you help that guy?
But he already knows the answers. How you help him is to tell him the truth, because he already knows what he needs to do. He's just not doing it.
So what does he have to do? Just make a ton of money and
it's not even about money
and be successful and powerful.
It's not even about money.
He's got to grow a backbone to begin with.
You got to grow a backbone, and you can do that by, if you improve your physicality, you usually improve your mentality along with it. And men are expected to be wise and interesting. He needs stories. You're not gonna have stories unless you've taken risk. You need to get some balls. You need to get some balls and live a life. I told him, man, go get on the train in Portugal and ride it for 3 weeks all the way to Singapore and think about what a fucking punk you are. And at least you'll end it with some stories.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, you have plenty of time to reflect on what a bitch you are. Go into the bathroom and look in the mirror, look deep in your eyes and say, yeah, I wouldn't fuck me either. Like, what do you want me to do? What game do you want?
Wait, I like
you're scrawny as a motherfucker. Like, what do you want me to do?
He has to look deep into his own eyes.
Yeah, no. You have to look deep into your own eyes and say, I would never fuck you. Never. And that needs to change. People mess with me all the time. I'm fat and I can't get a girlfriend because I'm depressed. I'm like, no, pancake lover. You're depressed because you're fat and you can't get a girlfriend. Do you understand? Yeah. No matter what the worst thing that could possibly happen to me on earth, I will feel sad, but I will recover and I will not become depressed because I don't have depression. So the paradigm of the world has changed now. We live in a society where, for the first time in human history, young people are afraid to socially interact or accept social rejection. And this is an untested new world, and how it's going to affect things going forward is going to be very, very interesting to discover, because it's never happened before. The reason you guys are worried about social rejection is because you're not used to it. Most of the girls I tried to speak to would say no. I just didn't give a shit. I just didn't care. As long as you don't offend anyone or hurt anyone, it can be a very, very polite interaction. You can go over to a girl and say, excuse me, I think you're absolutely beautiful. And she could say, I'm not interested. And you could say, okay, have a nice day. Goodbye. It hasn't got to be negative. It can be very, very happy. Very positive.
How do I get to that step?
Because maybe you're talking to a lot of girls online. That's another new thing, right? That you can message girls online without having to go up to them and talk to them. In my world, you didn't get to do that. So you built up a degree of social resilience. And the reason I was asking if your lives are hard is because I think both of you are you're very fortunate, but you're going to suffer for it later on in life. And you're going to suffer for it because you are now basically effectively, and I mean this without meaning to be degrading or insulting, I'm just telling you the truth. You are both spoiled brats, and you're spoiled because you're fucking rich at a young age, doing the funnest job in the fucking world.
I worked for it. I worked for it, though.
Yeah, of course you worked for it.
14 hours a day working. How does that mean I'm spoiled?
14 hours a day doing what everyone wants to do. That's not work. Work is doing what people don't want to do. Work is not doing the thing that people do for fun in their spare time, regardless of how good you are at it. That's not work. I don't consider a world level tennis player. I wouldn't say, oh, his job. No, he's an athlete. He loves tennis. He's always loved tennis. Everyone loves tennis, and he's the best at it. You love the video game and you're good at it. Good. Congratulations. But you are a spoiled brat. You do not understand the realities of the world financially. You do not understand the realities of the world socially. And now you have a whole bunch of social status that you've worked for. And to gain it, all you've had to do is play a video game where there's basically zero real world risk. This is what you don't understand. You think it's risky. You have an adrenaline rush when you're running around with pixels on a fucking screen. It's not even real. You're worried about that. In the real world, to gain social status, you have to risk.
Okay, do you have dreams? Do you have dreams in the real world? Obviously. You have dreams about kickboxing, you have dreams about that. I have dreams about the same shit, just pixelated dreams.
Completely. I understand. But if I lose a kickboxing match, I go to hospital for real. If you lose Fortnite, you have a temper tantrum and nobody gives a fuck. That's it. You throw your keyboard around like a girl. That's it. Nobody cares. And this is my point. You're spoiled because you are now financially secure and you have gained social status in a scenario where you've taken no risks to gain social status. And that is going to damage you later on in life. That's going to damage you because you have not been through hardship and you've not had to suffer the genuine consequence of a significant loss. Even if you were to lose a bunch of Fortnite games and lose your team, whatever, you're not going to be physically hurt.
Okay, what if I was losing? What if I lost $1 million?
Who gives a shit? You made it easy.
I mean, respectfully, I don't think you understand how hard like a Fortnite tournament is and how much like it actually like takes a toll on your mental health.
Respectfully, you're not listening to the meta point I am making. I'm not saying that it's easy. I am saying, yes, the video game at a competitive level is a difficult game to play. I understand that. I am not saying that. I am saying
that you have gained a bunch of social status without taking real world risk. You are now financially secure at a very young age, doing something that everyone loves to do anyway. You're spoiled brats. Let's assume for some reason you can never play video games again. Let's say they're outlawed, whatever. Let's assume, right? Neither of you are prepared to go out into the real world and do real work. Neither of you are prepared to go get a minimum wage job and wash cars like everyone else your age does. Neither of you are prepared to work 10 years in a career to finally get some success. Neither of you are prepared to stand up and take an ass kicking from 10 guys bigger than you to prove you're not a pussy. No, you prove you're not a pussy in the pixelated world, but in the real world, you do not have any of the qualities that make a man.
Okay, how can I become a man?
Well, this is it. You're going to struggle to become a man now because you are spoiled. We're going back to my original point, full circle. When you said you weren't spoiled, now you realize you are spoiled because the people who struggle in life, who struggle to go through difficult lessons, are people who never had to take them. The whole point of it being difficult is that it's uncomfortable. If you don't have to go through something uncomfortable, you won't. Water always flows downstream. You're living very comfortable lives. You're fucking spoiled, and you're always going to struggle now to get up and say, no, I must suffer to become a man of value, because you don't want to suffer. You want to play Fortnite, make millions of dollars, be famous on the internet. And I completely understand why. What I'm saying is you need to be cerebral enough to look in the mirror and say, shit, this may be all good, but there's serious downsides. Downside 1, I ain't fucking nothing. Downside 2, as soon as I put my computer away, I'm scared to walk the street in case someone kicks the shit out of me. Downside 3, I can't go up to it.
I mean, bro, I'm like, respectfully, nobody's beating my ass. Like, I mean, I don't know if you think I look like a big guy or not. I'm 6'1" though. Like, no one's beating my ass. I took boxing lessons and shit. Like, I'm actually tough as fuck.
Okay, good. But the point I'm making, good. I'm not sitting here just to talk about fighting, right? The point I'm making, the general point I'm making as a whole, is that you are now spoiled and you need to be cerebral enough to punish yourselves and test yourselves so you can grow into men. And the only way to grow into a man is by traumatic, difficult experiences. You need to sit here and go, I have all of this money. I have all the money in the fucking world. Yeah. I can go to the best gym with the best personal trainer. Yeah. I should be in fantastic physical condition. Not good, not average, not okay. I should be in the best physical condition a man should be in. It only takes an hour of my day with the best trainer. I'll get up an hour earlier and fucking do it. You should, but you won't because you are spoiled. That's the man's fault. And I think that's the man's fault because I think that, firstly, 99% of most of the problems in the world are men's fault. I don't think women are at fault for anything. So as much as everyone wants to call me sexist, I think that women are innocent creatures in that regard. I think that the Matrix.
I think people may still say that's sexist, but go ahead.
Fine, that's fine. Okay, then I'm sexist, but it's all men's fault. I don't care. Matching jewelry, I don't think that's a big deal. I think that relationships are a beautiful thing. I think that men and women should be in love. If they want to have pet names and tattoos and stuff, that's a beautiful thing. I'm not against male-female love in any regard. I'm the complete opposite. I think men and women should completely and utterly be in love. I think that a woman has a role to play, as does a man, and they're different roles. Doesn't mean I don't think they don't complement. I think they complement absolutely. I think the biggest problem with the world is not enough men and women are in love for long enough. I'm the most conservative man on the planet. I think that men and women should be married and stick together and stick by each other and protect each other. A man should protect his woman physically, and she should protect him spiritually. I think that's a beautiful thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that in any regard. The internet is a strange place, and I'll sit here and I'll say I'm out to protect women in a physical situation, or even in a fucking plane crash, I'm out to protect women. Let me drive. Same reason I'd park the car in a tight spot. No big deal. I'm the man. Just let me do it. And everyone's going to sit here and pretend I'm an evil person. It's bullshit. I understand. And those are the exact kind of women I would never, ever give my time of day to. Any woman is going to sit there and think it's more important to argue with me about how she is as capable as a man, everything, blah, 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 as opposed to just letting me pay the bill and be pleasant. Is not the kind of woman I want to fucking talk to because it's uninteresting. And it's a Western phenomenon. It truly is a Western phenomenon. I've been to 72 countries. I've lived in 13, right? I've been all around the world. And it's truly and utterly Western. If you were to go on a date in America, you'd have a girl sitting there trying to tell you she's your equal. If you were to go on a date in Moscow, you'd have a girl sitting there going, my man needs to take care of me. I want him to take care of me. I'll do my job, but he must protect and provide for me. So it's a Western phenomenon, right? It depends where you go. It depends. And this whole idea of this obsession with equality is a truly Western thing. And I don't think it's particularly healthy or important. I don't look at a woman thinking, is she my equal? Is she below me? Is she above me? I don't do that. I sit with a woman and we either enjoy each other's company or we don't. But I know my roles as a man. I believe that as a man, I should pay for the first date. I believe I should open the car door. I believe I should protect for her, provide for her. I believe if she's my woman, she should be able to come to me with her problems and I should fix them. That makes me a sexist and a horrible person. Fine.
It doesn't. I agree with everything you just said.
And if a woman is responsible, she should have authority. There are relationships in the world today where the woman has to tell the man to stop playing video games, stop smoking weed, get up and go to the gym, stop being a piece of shit. Then she has responsibility over him. She's basically his mother. She has absolute authority in that household. He should obey every word she says because he's a jackass. So it's not even a sex thing. It's a human dynamics. It's basic human dynamics.
A lot of people say girls love money, and that's not entirely true. People think if you have money, you're going to get girls. That's not true. Money is a facilitator. Money helps, but you still need game to get girls. I know loads of very, very rich men who don't have girls. I know loads of old, fat, ugly, rich guys who are desperately trying to throw money at girls. Girls don't really care about money. Girls like the trappings of money without seeing the actual money. What they want is a car, a black Mercedes to pick them up from their house, to take them to the restaurant. You pay the bill without mentioning how much it is, and a black Mercedes to take them home. They don't give a shit how much your heating bill is. They don't care how much the taxes are on your big-ass apartment. They just want your bed to be comfortable. Another thing females enjoy is they enjoy a man who's successful, and money's a very easy measure of success. Who doesn't? And on top of that, the number one thing women want more than anything is fun. Women like fun. You can do anything you want to a woman. You can even be horrible to a woman. Not that I ever would, because I'm a nice guy. If you don't bore her. As long as you do not bore a female, she will always be around with you. If you're entertaining enough for her to have some enjoyment in her life, this is why women like funny guys, for example, she's going to always fuck with you in one form or another. Women like fun, and money facilitates spontaneity, and spontaneity is fun. They don't necessarily love money. They're not gold digging. You're just a fun person to be around because they're driving around the Lambo, and they're in a helicopter, and they're in Disneyland, and they're on a submarine. This is how it works with women and money. Women are not attracted only to money. They're attracted to all the things that money provides. So money alone is not enough to get girls. If you just think, I'm just going to give a girl money, if I get money, girls will like me, they won't. Let me tell you something about having a Lamborghini. I have a Lamborghini, it's $200,000. Has that got me more girls? Well, not really. What it does is, if I pull up outside of a nightclub in my Lamborghini, girls look at me and think, well, I don't see that very often. That's interesting. Who is he? How does he afford a Lamborghini? So if a girl sees your Lamborghini, it gives you an opener. She's more interested in who you are and how you can afford a Lamborghini, but it's your choice to be interesting thereafter. All it is 10 to 15 seconds of interest after an opening that you wouldn't have otherwise. That's what $300,000 buys you. $300,000 buys you the fact that if you go up to a girl and say hello, she's more likely to talk to you for 10 to 15 seconds. But if you don't have game after that, you're still not going to get the girl. They don't care. Let me tell you what you get if you buy a Lamborghini. The only people who genuinely adore you when you have a Lamborghini and they see it drive past and they start and their eyes light up and they start waving their hands and they'll do anything to get in your car are 10-year-old boys. So unless you're a pedophile, there's no point in buying a Lamborghini purely to get pussy. Buy it because you enjoy it yourself. People say, well, if I get money, then I'll have girls. No, you won't. You won't have girls because you're still out of shape, still a fucking loser, you're still fucking boring. So fix all those things. Let me tell you something. If you fix all those things well enough, you don't even need money to get girls. I had girls when I was broke. I have girls now I'm rich. I got money because I enjoy my Lamborghini, not to try and impress some bimbo bitch. Some rhymes. And nines, the ones that do exist, are on a millionaire's boat in Monaco. They're hanging around with Arab sheikhs in Dubai. They've got 1.5 or 2 million Instagram followers. You don't find these girls in a shopping mall. There's no quality in day game. The most beautiful girls in the world are not walking around shopping centers in England or fucking Nebraska or Idaho or wherever you dorks do your day game. They're not just walking around buying tampons and pretzels. It just doesn't happen. So people go, I picked up a 9 at the mall. There's no 9s in that mall, you fucking moron. I could sit outside that mall for a month and analyze every single chick who walks in there and not see a single 9. And you're telling me every weekend you go find the only 9 in the mall. Do you fuck? She's a 5. And you're desperate, Mr. Day Game. You're a dork. And your idea of a 9 is actually a 5 because you don't live in the real world. If you were actually a G, actually a multimillionaire who traveled the world, actually in the higher echelons of society, you'd understand what a 9 is. And there's none of them in Day Game. You don't find 9s just walking around. I ain't fucking lying. Fuck Day Game. It's a waste of time. And the quality isn't there. And 2, I do not believe a fucking word any of these day game guys say about quality. Because I know for a fact, I've been around the world, I've been in shopping malls in 72 countries, and you do not see supermodels fucking pissing around in the middle of a shopping mall. It ain't real.
And I'm only 18 years old. So from there, my coach was like, okay, you have some potential. And it, for a long time, I believed it was my only way out because like once again, before the internet and stuff, I'm going to college. I finished college. I don't believe in university because I'm too smart to get in debt for formal education. I'm too smart for that junk. So I finished college. I'm working.
So I'm talking to some bitch. And she's asking me, when am I ever going to grow up? I'm like, grow up? I'm 6'3", bitch. When am I going to grow up? I'm big and strong and rich as fuck. What do you mean grow up? I got a mansion. I got a supercar collection. People know my name. I'm talking about grow up. You're fucking 22. If you didn't have fat titties, I wouldn't even talk to you. You talking about grow up. So no, but you just run around the world with your brother, making Tate confidentials, just driving supercars, just being crazy. When are you gonna, grow up and settle down?